Good morning friends. In this particular video I would like to discuss the topics related to shaping, planing and slotting machines. Firstly, let us understand why we are discussing all these machine tools in a particular module. This is because all these machine tools, that is shaping, planing and slotting machine tools, comes under the broad classification of non-automatic general purpose reciprocating type. So, and these machine tools are primarily used to produce the flat surfaces on different planes, that may be the horizontal plane or vertical plane or inclined plane. And these machine tools can also be used to produce straight slots or grooves. And the machine tools which we are going to discuss in this video is shaping machine, planing machine and slotting machine. What we will discuss in this module is we will talk about the classification of these machine tools and what are the parts related to these machine tools and their functionalities. First, let us start with the shaping machine. So shaping machine is a reciprocatory type machine tool which is primarily used to produce the flat surfaces. And here in this video I would like to show you how exactly the shaping machine works. So the mechanism which is utilized in this shaping machine is crank and slotted lever mechanism, which is a quick return mechanism. Quick return mechanism means the time taken for the forward stroke, which is the productive stroke where the machining can be done, is more than the return stroke. Okay, return stroke is non-productive stroke. And here you can see this is what the mechanism which was utilized here, that is called as the crank and slotted lever mechanism. And let me show you the video corresponding to this. And this is how you can see the crank and slotted lever mechanism is placed inside the column box, which is hollow shaped, and the ram which is holding the cutting tool at the front, that is reciprocating, and the work part is stationary and it is provided with intermittent feed motion in the cross feed direction. Okay, so the important points you need to understand related to the shaping machine is shaping machine is a reciprocating type machine tool, and the mechanism used is crank and slotted lever mechanism. The cutting motion is usually provided to the cutting tool, and feed motion is given to the table, that is the cross feed motion. And this feed motion is not continuous, it is intermittent. So whenever the return stroke that is taking place, then only the cross feed movement is given to the work part. And this particular machine tool was developed by James Smith in the year 1836. But these shaping machines or planing machines usually obsolete now. This is because we can also generate the flat surfaces by using the milling machine, which are more productive compared to these shaping machine. So why is it so? Because milling machine use the cutting tool which is multi-point type, and here in shaping machine we are using a cutting tool which is single point cutting tool. So there are some inherent advantages if you go for the multi-point cutting tool, because the wear rate is going to take place over all the cutting edges, and it is more productive compared with the shaping machine. Now let us talk about the classification of shaping machine. First we will discuss the classification based on the how we are achieving the reciprocatory motion to the ram. In this, the first one is the crank type. If the machine tool utilizes the crank and slotted lever mechanism, then it is called as the crank type machine tool. Next one is the Garrett type. In Garrett type, the rack teeth will be cut below the ram. What it means is, here you can see there is a ram. This is called as the ram of the shaping machine. Below this, that is this portion is provided with the rack teeth, and this rack teeth will come in contact with the pinion. As the pinion rotates in the clockwise direction, let us say, then the cutting tool will be moved that is the ram will be moved in the forward direction. Once the forward stroke is completed, then by using some kinematic structure or some kinematic mechanism, the spur gear or the pinion will be automatically rotated in the reverse direction, so that you will get the reverse feed direction, reverse stroke, reverse stroke or backward stroke. And the mechanism, whatever the kinematic mechanism or kinematic structure which we are using, that will ensure the quick return ratio mechanism here. Next one is the hydraulic type. The reciprocatory motion is created by using the hydraulic power, and this hydraulic power is delivered either by utilizing the oil or some other fluid, that may be water also. Now let me show you the picture corresponding to this hydraulic type shaping machine. And here you can see there is an oil pump here, and this is the oil reservoir, and the pump, what it is doing, it is going to lift this oil through this valve chamber. That is what shown here. So whenever water is lifted, there are the openings here. Here you can see, once the oil is entering into the valve chamber, there are two openings. Then the fluid may be entering in this way, in this, through this valve or through this valve. But during the forward stroke, what happens is, this valve, because of the presence of this particular block, the fluid will enter in this way, and it will apply some pressure on the piston. So the piston start moving in the backward direction, or in the backward direction means that is the forward stroke. When the forward stroke is taking place, what are the liquid that is present on the other side of the piston will be collected back in the reservoir through this throttling valve. So during the forward movement, what happens is, this reversing dog, this is called as the reversing dog, and that will come in contact with the reversing lever. So when that comes in contact with the reversing lever, this reversing lever will be rotated about this pivot point, and so what happens, this will occupy the new position that is shown in the dotted lines. When this happens, then the valve chamber, the blocks will move in the forward direction. This block will move in this way, this block will come here, and this block will come here. Then what happens, then the fluid will start moving in the backward direction to the previous direction, and that will offer the pressure on the piston, and the piston starts moving in this backward direction. That is what in the backward direction means, it is creating the backward stroke. In this way, we will ensure the forward and backward stroke in this particular mechanism, that is the hydraulic mechanism. Next one, we will talk about the classification based on the position and travel of the ram. The first one is horizontal type. So in this, the ram which is holding the tool, that reciprocates in the horizontal plane or about the horizontal axis. Then that type of machine tool is called as the horizontal type shaping machine tool. And these machine tools are primarily used to produce the flat surfaces. Next one is the vertical type. If the tool holding the ram, if it is moving about the vertical axis, then it is called as a vertical type machine tool. And these are used to provide the internal surfaces, keyways, slots or grooves. Next one is the traveling head type. Here the ram which is holding the cutting tool, that is not only having the reciprocatory motion, but it is also provided with the cross feed movement. Next one, next classification is based on the design of table. If the table is provided with only the vertical and horizontal feed, that is the cross feed, then it is called as the standard shaper. If the table is provided with not only these feed movements, but also the swiveling, that is the rotation of the table about the horizontal axis or about the vertical axis, so that you can get the inclined cuts on the work part, then that particular shaping machine is called as the universal shaping machine. Next classification is based on the cutting stroke. So that is whether the material removal take place in the forward stroke or in the backward stroke. If it is taking in the forward movement of the ram, then it is called as the push type. If it is taking place in the backward movement of the ram, then it is called as the draw type. This is what related to the classification of the shaping machine. Now let us move to the next part, that is related to the parts of the shaping machine. First we will start with the base. This is called as the base. So base is a hollow structure which is made up of cast iron material. This is because the cast iron material will absorb the vibration while we are performing the machining operations. That is, whenever the forces are transmitted, finally the forces are transmitted to the ground through the base, and the base material will absorb these vibration. And base will also provide the space for placing different parts of this machine tool. Here you can see this is called as the column, and this column is placed on the base of the machine tool. Not only this is called as the elevating screw. This screw is utilized for movement of the table in the vertically upward direction. That is, simply by rotating the handle corresponding to this elevating screw, we will move the entire table in the vertically upward direction. And the mechanism which is utilized there is the screw nut mechanism. And here this column is a box shaped casted product which is hollow inside, and inside this inside this box we are going to place the mechanism or the machine elements which are required to create the kinematic aspects related to the machine tool, that is providing the cutting motion and feed motion for either to the tool or to the work part. And this column is provided with the guideways. You can see these are the guideways which are provided at the top and also at the front. On the top guideways, this ram is going to have the reciprocating motion, and at the front guideways you can see there is a cross rail. This is called as the cross rail. Cross rail is placed on the front guideways. On the front of the cross rail we will place this saddle. This is called as the saddle. On the front of the saddle we can place this table, and the table is provided with T-slots. T-slots are typically used to hold the work part by using the clamps and bolts, T-bolts and clamps. Not only T-bolts and clamps, you can also use other work holding devices, namely they are shaper vices. You can use V blocks or some other types of work holding devices. Next one is the ram. You can see this is the ram. Ram is placed on the top guideways which are provided on the column. And the front portion of this ram is provided with what? Is provided with this tool head. And the detailed features of this tool head is discussed in this slide. So here you can see the down feed handle. So name itself suggesting what? If you rotate this handle, then you can move the cutting tool either vertically up or down. The mechanism which is used here is the screw nut mechanism, and this is called as the down feed screw. And here you can also see there is some angular graduation marks here on this. So what is the usefulness of this? You can tilt this cutting tool about the axis passing through this, either in this way or in this way, so that the tool will be locked in an inclined position to do the works related to the inclined cuts on the work part. Next one is the tool post. You can see this is what the tool post, and this tool post is holding the single point cutting tool by using this screw. And there is a clapper box here and clapper block. The functions of this clapper box and clapper block is whenever the cutting tool is moving in the backward direction, that is in the reverse stroke, then this cutting tool will be lifted up and it is held at that location due to the friction. Once it traveled over the complete work part, then again it will be brought back in the vertically downward direction due to the gravitational force. And so during the return stroke, it won't do any cutting operation. It will simply trace or simply move over the work part surface. Next one is the planing machine. The planing machine is also used to produce the flat surfaces by using the single point cutting tool. The main difference between the shaping and the planing machine is, in planing machine, the table which is holding the work part, that is provided with the reciprocatory motion, and the cutting tool is provided with intermittent feed motions. Whereas in shaping machine, the tool is provided with the reciprocatory motion and the work part is provided with intermittent feeds. Not only that, shaping machines are typically recommended for light works. They are not recommended for heavy jobs. If there is heavy job, if I want to machine lathe beds, then I will go for the planing machine but not the shaping machines. And planing machines are usually heavy and they are very robust also. And here in this particular video, I would like to show you how exactly the shaping machine works. And this was developed by Richard Robert in the year 1817. Now let us look into the aspects related to the classification of planing machine. First one is the double housing type. In double housing type, there are two columns here. These are the two columns. You can see 1 and 2. And these two columns are connected by a horizontal member which is called as the cross rail. And you can see on the cross rail we are placing two tool heads. And these tool heads are holding the single point cutting tools. And you can also see there are tool heads which are placed on the vertical columns. So what you can observe here is all these tools which are placed in these tool heads can be operated simultaneously. And so you can do parallel machining operations on the planing machine, on this particular type of planing machine. And here you can see this is the bed, and the bed is provided with the guideways. You can see these are the guideways, and on these guideways this table is having the reciprocatory motion, and the mechanism utilized for this reciprocating motion is rack and pinion mechanism. And you can see next one is the open side planer. You can see the name is still suggesting there is only one column here, and this cross rail is overhanging, just like a cantilever beam which is fixed at one end, other end is free. But whereas in double housing planer, this cross rail is placed on the two column. That means it is acting like a simply supported beam. That particular cross rail member is acting like a simply supported beam. And you can also see the tool heads are placed on this cross rail and also on the column. And here also you can do the parallel machining by using these tool heads. And the main point you need to understand is, if the width of the work part is slightly larger than the width of the table, then you have to go for the open side planer instead of double housing planer. That is what the main utility of this open side planer. Even though there may be some deflections which are produced at the free end, which is related to this cross rail. Next one is the pit planer type. In pit planer type, you are placing this base and the table on inside this ground. You can see there, this is the pit you digged in the ground. Next one here is our part is placed on the table and it is usually stationary. That is the main difference in this pit planer type. In pit planer type, we are not creating any reciprocatory motion for the work part. This is different machine tool. And here you can see there are columns and the cross rail. Cross rail is holding the cutting tool, single point cutting tools, holding the tool post. And this entire setup, that is the vertical column on the cross rail setup, this is going to move on these rails. Okay, so what it means is this entire assembly is provided with the reciprocatory motion, that is movement of this entire setup over the railway track like thing, and the tools are provided with, the tool is also provided with the cross feed movement. Next one is the edge type or plate type planer. Here also this is very much similar to the pit planer type. Here also the base is fixed on which the work part is placed, and the carriage is going to move on these rails which is holding the single point cutting tool, and these are recommended for squaring or beveling the edges of the work part. Next one is the divided table planner. In this divided table planner we are having two tables which are located side by side, and these two tables can be operated simultaneously, or only one of this table is operated, other table is used for loading or unloading the work part. This is what related to the classification of planing machine. Next one is the parts of the planing machine. The functionality of these parts are very much similar to what we discussed in shaping machine. First one is the bed. This is called as the bed, which is a hollow casted product here. On the top of this is provided with the guideways, and on these guideways this table is going to have the reciprocatory motion by using the rack and pinion mechanism. Next one, you can see these are the two columns which are connected by this cross rail, and these are the tool heads which are placed on the cross rail. And you can see here this is called as the screw, which is called as the elevating screw. Both these screws are operated simultaneously so that you can lift the entire cross rail either in the vertically upward direction or vertically downward direction. And you can also see there is one more screw here, okay, which is operated simultaneously, both the screws, to move these tool heads either to the left hand side or to the right hand side with respect to the table. And so the mechanism which is utilized for the movement of the cross rail or the tool heads is screw nut mechanism, and that is different from the mechanism which is related to the reciprocatory motion of the table. In reciprocatory motion of the table we are using the rack and pinion mechanism. Next one is the drive and feed mechanisms. Drive and feed mechanisms here, this is based on the rack and pinion mechanism. So you know that when the pinion is rotating, let us say in the clockwise direction, then this entire table will move in the forward direction, that is related with the cutting stroke. Once the cutting stroke is completed, then this pinion automatically reverse its direction so that this entire table will move in the backward direction. In this way you will have the alternative forward and backward strokes by rotating the pinion in a particular direction, and the directional change, everything is controlled by the kinematic aspects of this machine tool. Next one is the slotting machine. Slotting machine this may be looking like a vertical shaping machine which is holding the single point cutting tool, and this is moving in the vertical plane, and these are primarily used to get the slots. And the table is also provided with the rotary feed also. These aspects we will discuss in the kinematics of the slotting machine, but there is a basic difference between the slotting machine and the shaping machine. In slotting machine there is no quick return ratio mechanism, or the mechanism which is utilized in the slotting machine is this crank and piston mechanism, whereas the shaping machine is utilizing the crank slotted lever mechanism, which is having the quick return ratio which is greater than 1. And the slotting machine is developed by the Brunel in the year 1800. So here also the parts are very much similar to what we discussed in the shaping machine and the planing machine. This is called as the base of the machine tool. This is called as the column. The column is placed on the base of the machine tool. So this is the base, not this. And you can see all the machine elements which are required to produce the kinematic aspects which are related to the machine tool are placed inside this hollow column. Next one is the saddle. This is the saddle. Sorry, this is the saddle. Next one is the rotating table. This is the rotating table, and here you can see rotating table is having the T slots, and on the T slots we are placing the work part by using T bolts and clamps. Next one is this is the vertical ram. This can move vertically up and down. Next one is this is the tool head assembly. This is very much similar to what we discussed in the shaping machine. So the point you need to understand is there are three different machine tools which come under the category of reciprocating type, non-automatic general purpose type machine tools. They are shaping machine, planing machine, slotting machine. But there are some minute differences between these machine tools. That is what you need to understand. That is what we highlighted in this particular video. Thank you.